such sights to show you.
Never alone.
Let this be a lesson to you. Say no to drugs.
You are all my children now.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Vintage Horror Podcast, where we talk about all horror, not just the vintage kind. With me today, I have Rob.
Hey, how's it going?
And Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
So today we will be discussing Critters from 1986. But first, we're going to crack a cold one open with the boys. So what's up, boys? We'll talk to you. Now, you know what? Who did we talk to first last time?
Pretty sure it was me.
Then we'll talk to Mark first.
There we go.
What have you been up to, Mark? Don't tell me nothing, because I know that's a lie.
You know nothing. Same thing as normal. Living my daily life. Work. Xbox. Work. Sleep. Repeat. Nothing too crazy.
Okay. Well,
Got tickets to see Have Heart. Pretty happy about that.
so there you go.
In July in Boston. Well, not tickets. One ticket. So
Going by yourself?
I won't go with Johnny and Amanda, but I have one ticket for myself.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing too much. What about you, Rob?
Nothing crazy. Just a lot of work. Trying to catch up on stuff there, and been playing a lot of Fortnite. Season 8 dropped.
Oh yeah, I got my first win in season 8.
A little bit of fork knife.
A little bit of fork knife. But other than that, just trying to find some downtime to relax. Looking forward to watching some of the fights UFC this weekend. See how that goes. I'm sure either by the time this is released, I'll either be very happy or very depressed. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Spent some of our time watching a fun little film that we'll get into in a little bit. But other than that, pretty boring life.
True that.
How about you, Kyle?
Well, you
Crack
know.
a cold one, buddy.
Played some Resident Evil Friday. Called out. Played a little bit of fork knife with Mark and Mike. Got our first win. Season 8. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Oh, my Resident Evil 2 board game that I still haven't played had expansions that I guess they put out to the public, and they said that after the Kickstarter, the alligator one wasn't going to be available, but it is, so I bought that. And a couple other expansions. Dropped like $100 on. Probably never going to use them, but
So what you're saying is you're hemorrhaging money.
yeah, all the time.
That's
Yeah,
Next Friday night we'll play that,
if you want.
depending on how late it is.
Oh, yeah, but that's probably going to be an issue.
I just want to say I got to admire your T-shirt there, Princess Mononoke, more of the Wolf God.
I
Good
don't
choice.
never heard of her.
Okay, so this shirt is made by Revenge of the Nerd. I don't know their Instagram tag. It's like ROTN something, maybe a couple numbers, or just ROTN. But they make up like a bunch of like hardcore / usually comic book mashups. But this is a Princess Mononoke shirt.
Just so the fans know,
Squad.
we're not sponsored by them.
Well, no, he's a cool guy though. I have a bunch of shirts from him.
But yeah, definitely we encourage you guys to go out and support local artists and producers that work like that. Good stuff.
Hell to the yeah.
Good stuff.
Any horror news lately? No, right?
Nothing really except new Critters trailer coming out on the Shudder Network.
Yeah.
They're producing their own content now. I got a chance to take a look at it. I don't know if you guys...
Nope, absolutely
Oh,
not.
I watched the trailer. Are you talking about the trailer for the show, right?
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like terrible, like it's supposed to be terrible?
Yeah.
Terrible,
It looks
they're
like a
trying
B
it-
movie that was made by a B movie.
Yeah.
But is it trying to look bad?
It's 100% fully meta, self-aware of what it is.
So like campy and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like Muppets running around eating people.
Well, I mean that's what they are. They're not real, they're puppets.
Don't ever say that again. Ruining my childhood.
So I mean, being that we're already on that topic, I guess we could just move right into the main event of the evening.
Ding ding.
Critters from 1986, rated PG-13, had a estimated budget of about $2 million, and it grossed $13.1 million, at least in the U.S. I'm not sure if that's worldwide. or not. It was directed by Stephen Herrick. Is that how it's pronounced? Like Derek, but
Close
with an
enough.
H. And he also directed movies such as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's
Both films, actually. Yeah.
both of them.
Yep.
I don't.
I'm pretty
think
sure it was
that's
both.
true.
Double check me.
But he also directed The Mighty Ducks. So that guy is the guy. Got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, and I didn't look any the other fucking ratings up. Like,
What has a 610? Critters?
yeah, 6 out of 10 on IMDb. That's about fitting for.
Okay, I take that back. He was not involved in Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really weird. I
Yeah,
feel like
Peter
I knew
Hewlett. Or the Hewlett. Hewitt.
Hewlett, whatever.
that. Related to
Yeah, I
Johnny
take that
or
back.
That's what I was going to say.
so
he also, did you mention he did 101 Dalmatians?
no, like the live action.
Yeah,
No, I didn't
That
know
movie's good.
that's the good stuff.
I didn't know that.
That's how they. I
What?
was gonna say they better learn when they would do the Lion King, but I got triggered for a moment. I know I'm gonna have to see it.
So, some notable cast members in Critters is, well, first we'll start with Dee Wallace,
Mm-hmm.
who was also in The Hills Have Eyes, 1977, The Howling, 1981, Cujo, Popcorn from 1991, The Halloween, the Rob Zombie remake from 2007, and E.T., 1982. Another person in it is Emmett Walsh, who was in Escape from the Planet of the Apes, 1971, Blade Runner, 1982. He was in an episode of The Twilight Zone, X-Files, and Tales from the Crypt. What's that?
His best movie, Camp Nowhere, Don't At Me.
Okay, I believe you. I've never seen it, so.
It's like that movie Accepted, but it was like kids going to camp. So they made a fake camp to go to camp.
Doesn't really sound good, but
What are you talking about? That sounds awesome.
As a kid watching that in 1994, that was my favorite movie as a kid.
Is that when it came out like that?
Yeah,
around that time?
1994. Yeah. Jessica Alba might be in it, or Jennifer Love.
I'm gonna watch it.
We also have Billy Green Bush in it. In this movie, he was in Jason Goes to Hell, and that's the only thing that was really like too noticeable. I don't think he was in much stuff. Scott Grimes, who's also in Critters 2. Don Keith
But
Opper.
yes, Scott Grimes also is in The Orville, that show on Fox.
Is he?
Yeah.
Never even heard
He's
of
like
it.
on the main cast for that show.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's like a space show, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Star Trek spoof.
Yeah. It's with the guy that created Family Guy. I can't remember his name. Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. When you said Steven, I'm like, that's not ringing a bell. I don't think that's it.
No Steven here.
We had Don Keith Opper, who was in Critters 2 through 4. Well, this one and 2 through 4, I should say.
I was about to say, when did he skip this
Yeah,
one?
yeah. And then our guy, fucking Billy Zane.
The
bro.
original.
The original GOAT. He was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt in 1993.
Yeah, Demon Knight. That's probably his biggest
Well,
known.
no, he was in an episode, but then he was in the movie.
Oh, okay. I was
Tales from
saying-
the Crypt, Demon Knight,
Yeah.
1995.
Supper Time.
He started out in Back to the Future.
But he didn't have a speaking role in that. He was just one of Biff's
Yeah.
bros.
But then he was in Back to the Future 2, The Phantom from 1996, Titanic 1997. Let me know.
Love you, Cal.
Love you. Charmed, he was in 3 episodes, and he was in Zoolander 1 and 2 as himself. Better fucking recognize that's fucking Billy Zane right there. And I don't know if you saw, but on IMDb they said that Adolf Hitler was also in this movie as himself. Swear to God, look that shit up. And like the whole movie, I was like, what is going on? Look it up right now.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
No, really, go to IMDb,
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
type in Critters, and scroll all the way to the end.
Thank you.
Adolf
Next.
Hitler as himself. Archive footage.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit.
Oh, I know what scene then.
Yeah, because they have the Nazis marching in one scene.
Yeah, you're right.
in the
Yeah.
beginning. So somebody felt the need to credit him in the cast,
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
making
right
sure he gets his royalties.
now? Yeah. Critters, 1986. So it opens up with a shot of space. And
Well, you
then-
also forgot to add the Chiodo Bros do like the special effects and are the puppeteers basically. I don't know if you know who they are, but Killer Clowns from Outer
Excuse
Space.
me?
Well,
No.
I'm saying you didn't. That's like
No,
pretty
well, I
known
didn't know
thing.
that. I didn't look up the
yeah,
effects people, but that that makes sense.
yeah.
They do good like
And also this script
Up
too.
to-
Supposedly it was written before Gremlins. So like because people always said they copied the idea of Gremlins.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
But they say the script was made before Gremlins even went into production, but then came out like I don't know if it was 4 or 3 years later after
Mm-hmm.
Gremlins.
Yeah. So do you guys have any other trivia you want to go over before we actually start the movie?
No, but I do love the beginning, the New Line Cinema, how the old red color is. Is it still like that?
New Line Cinema?
Like in the
No. It's like blue.
Yeah,
or
it's
white blue or
yeah.
something like that.
So one of the obvious things, and this is probably a dumb little piece of trivia, but I thought it was pretty cool. Obviously, later in the film, they have a little statue of E.T., and that's to reference.
It's
oh
like
my
a
goodness.
plush toy, yeah.
Yeah, to reference. Oh my gosh, what's her name?
D. Wallace?
Dee Wallace's
You better fucking
starring
respect her right
Yeah,
now.
right.
I'm
I've
warning
drawn a
you. You
blank.
better fucking respect D. Wallace. I will fucking murder.
role. But the logo on the back of the bowling uniforms, in the bowling alley, is a parody of the iconic Ghostbuster emblem. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Any other trivia?
No,
All right. So then we'll just get into the movie. It starts out with a shot of space, some stars. I think those are in space. And goes to...
moon landing was fake.
Is that a fact or...
There's no stars, and you just said there were stars in this scene, which made it space. I don't remember the moon landing having any stars. Side note. All right, sorry. Keep going on with the movie.
Well, if you listen to the recent episode or podcast with of Joe Rogan with Alex Jones, you would know that Alex Jones talked to all the people in NASA, and they said that yes, the footage was faked. It's because all of the radiation belt destroyed all the footage that they took up there, and that's the facts because Alex Jones said so.
Onwards with the movie.
So there's a prison asteroid, Sector 17, maximum security. And it looks like a regular asteroid, I guess.
Do you know what normal asteroids look like or something?
Yeah.
All right. Robbie's got a telescope. Don't worry.
I've been studying astrology my whole life.
Spell astrology.
Astrology. There we go.
Perfect.
And some ship is requesting to land with 8 Krites. And the prison's like, I thought you had 10. They're like, yeah, we had to kill 2 of them because they started eating everything.
Yeah, to ration the food.
Yeah. So I get the ship finally docks. Did you notice that like this setting in there is really dark and you can't really see much of what's going on inside the prison? And I wonder if they did that. Like you can see like I don't want to say just
they
silhouettes.
definitely filmed that in Walmart and turned the lights off.
Well,
right?
I think they might have did that to honestly save money, I'm assuming.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
This way you didn't have to like fully flesh out all of the beings and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
And there's another part in the movie where I feel like they did that
They did it in a couple spots, yeah.
with this spaceship. It
And
almost,
Not even that,
later
just
on
in
the-
certain scenes, too.
yeah,
especially later on in the film, towards the end, they do that with the alien spaceship.
yeah. It looked
It looks
towards
like they
the-
just crawled through some like office building and they turned the lights out.
well. The
with, like,
spaceship
vents
like
and hoses.
outside when they show it looks like it's made out of plywood. That they just like I don't even know if they spray painted. They just had no lights and they're like, oh, I hope it looks good.
It was on sale at Home Depot.
They
so-
wrapped
Yeah.
it in tinfoil.
So the ship docks, and then there's like I don't know an explosion of some sorts.
Yeah, they don't really go into it or show it.
Yeah, and they just say like the Krites, who I'm assuming I don't know if we're dumb when we're watching this, but we assume they mean critters based on the title. But the Krites stole a ship, and the guy is just like, "Damn!"
Yeah,
The
so,
way
like,
he says "damn" isn't even that loud. He's like, "Damn."
It's
Like, all right, whatever.
Well, I just
Like,
imagine it like Farouk.
yeah.
Damn.
so much for maximum security. This guy reacts like this happens every other week.
Yeah, and he's like, "Get the bounty hunters," and then bounty hunters like show up, and they're all wearing like leather, and their heads are just glowing like balls of chewing gum.
Well, yeah, this isn't deep in the galaxy, so this is what other creatures could look like, or human, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah,
I like
but
how the prison warden to me looks like the love child of Bib Fortuna and Jabba the Hutt.
dude, I literally thought that too.
I was
I don't
thinking,
know
I
who
was-
any of those people are, so
Well, you need to start watching some Star Wars.
never heard of her.
But yeah, I thought the
I've
same
seen Star
thing.
Wars 3.
I honestly thought he looked like Bib
Wada
Fortuna.
Wonga. I literally was like, What happened, babe? After you lost the gig at Jabba's Palace, you out here lost his legs too.
And then it goes into some opening credits. After the credits, there's like a rural-looking house, farm, country. I wouldn't say necessarily farm, but
That house was also built for this movie too.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
The way it,
It's
like,
an all-American homestead.
Later on, the way it looks, it definitely, you can tell. But it shows like, they're getting ready for their day, the family that lives in this house. You see April knocking on the bathroom door. Brad, who's in the bathroom, her brother, has a thermometer under the water, obviously trying to get
Yeah,
to
little
school.
snake.
Yeah, and then they say like April gets a phone call. After she gets off the phone, they say like, "Oh, who's on the phone?" She's like, "Oh, just Steve." Like, who's Steve? And Brad's like,
Steve.
the dork from New York.
Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, he better fucking recognize, bro.
Yeah.
But I love his lines in this movie. Then because, Brad's being a little shit, April's like, "Oh, yeah, he's not sick. He's just trying to get out of his geometry test." I think that's the test he had.
Yeah.
Something like a math test.
Some
right?
sort of math.
Geology, maybe.
Yeah, because that's a math.
I don't know. Something with a G. Google. I don't know.
And then he's like, "You're a real shithead, you know?"
I gotta say that dad reacts way too calmly. He threatens him, right? He does threaten the kid, but I was like, God, if I was at the dinner table and I said that in front of my father, the threat wouldn't even come out of my dad's mouth.
I thought that too, like, when he says, "You're a real shithead, you know?" And, like, the whole family.
You better watch your mouth, boy.
Yeah, the whole family's just like, yeah, no, this is totally allowed.
What's a common occurrence?
What, cursing?
Yeah.
This is Kansas. I don't
Yeah.
even think they know what cursing
Yeah,
is.
back then, I feel like, especially, like, in, like, that kind of area, like, they
I mean,
would
later-
not allow that shit.
I don't know. Like, there's some inconsistencies in punishment with that guy. I just gotta laugh because later on he throws. I'm not gonna go into it yet, but he throws a punishment at him. I'm just like, that was unusually harsh.
Yeah.
So they're at the table and they're all getting ready to eat breakfast, and then April and Brad are ready to have to go to school. And this is one thing I hate in movies and TV shows is when the mom cooks like a full meal, and then everyone just leaves and doesn't
Nobody
eat
eats
it.
it, yeah.
Like that drove me nuts for so many years. Like watching that in movies and TV shows.
But I
didn't-
feel like the movie was self aware of it too because didn't like the mother like say, oh, "Thanks for the breakfast, mom."
Yeah, thanks
Like,
for
she
the
was
wonderful
like-
breakfast. And
Yeah.
dude,
Why don't I just go fuck myself?
Well, I get it. Dude, if I ever cook breakfast for anybody, I don't care what it is. I don't care if I microwaved eggs and gave it to somebody and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not eating this." But, all right, motherfucker, you know what? Last thing I ever do for you.
That's like I got to do real quick story time. Back in the day, Carrie Alsop, a friend of ours, used to make breakfast for a whole bunch of us on the week, like once every couple weekends, and she'd make like pancakes, everything, like for 20 or 30 of us, and like people would show up and then they would just leave, and they would leave like half full plates, and I just could not stand that disrespect. So I would sit there and probably like sympathy eat them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a good idea. In
Wait, you ate
retrospect.
people's used pancakes?
Yeah, dude, you gotta eat. You gotta recycle.
Bro, the grossest thing I've ever seen
That's disgusting.
was I went, free pancake day at IHOP.
yeah.
I went with Trav, Justin, and there might have been someone else there. And we sit down.
Thanks for the invite.
This was like in high school
Well,
before I knew you.
I was alive.
So we sit down, and it was like later on, like because that goes on like all day and all night. But so it was like later on. It was definitely dark. And I remember we got sat, and the people who were on the table across the aisle from us just got up and left, and they had a stack of pancakes that like the 2 free pancakes that nobody touched. And Justin looked over and he's like, "I'm taking those pancakes." And he went over to the table, took them, and started eating them. I said, "I don't care if they even just looked at them and didn't touch them. That's fucking gross because you don't know."
Justin's my hero.
I could
So-
not believe that.
When I used to work at a restaurant real quick, and we used to scrape all the food on one plate, and I was working a private event, and one of the people at the party ate off the food that I scraped.
That is the foulest thing I've
Literally
ever heard.
like 20 plates of food scraped onto one plate to make it so I can stack everything on my tray. He literally went there with a fork and started eating it.
Like someone you work with?
No, one of the guests. In front of me like it was normal. Me standing next to the tray jack.
Blame it on
That's
the
fucking
alcohol.
disgusting.
Yeah, I almost threw up. No, it was no alcohol, I'll tell you that.
Oh my god.
That's fucking disgusting. back to the movie. So
Sorry.
no. I don't care. Like that's
No, I'm
that
saying-
needed to be said.
I'm
I'm
saying-
glad you got that off your chest because that's fucking
No, I've been saying,
disgusting.
I've honestly been talking about that for so many
Welcome
years.
to the Vintage Horror Therapy Cast.
So they cuts back to back to the movie. So
After they run off, it goes to the jail or the prison or jail, I guess, whatever you call it. And you see a guy laying down. Charlie, I think his name is, right?
oh yeah, so at breakfast,
Yeah, they dip after
they
breakfast.
were like wonder what happened to Charlie, and then it goes to first thing. Well, is Charlie just a drunk or is he like slow too?
I don't know. He said he heard stuff in his molars.
I don't know. I think he had some kind of an accident, or like I think it's one of those things. Like I think he had some kind of an accident or something because like
I don't know. Every time they show him, he has alcohol. So
yeah, but he's sobered up.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely
like,
a drunk.
And but he's like sobered up in the jail cell. And like he's like I can hear them in my fillings again. I can hear them.
but
I'm like,
but that's a real
what?
phenomenon.
But I'm like,
wait, for real?
People picking up like radio frequencies in their fillings. Yeah,
I've never heard that in my life.
well, that's real. You can look it up if you
I have
want,
fillings,
but-
so I'm gonna start checking out at nighttime.
Do you have
we're gonna
metal
see Mark
ones?
standing outside with his mouth
What?
wide open.
Do you have metal ones?
No,
Okay.
I like the concrete or whatever it was.
Yeah, like the regular like putty shit, right? But that's like a real phenomenon. But so Charlie's like sleeping it off in the jail cell, and Harv
With the door open. That's what I was so confused about. Like they show him in the jail.
because I don't think he was arrested for anything. I think he was just picked up drunk, and it's a small town, so they're just like, "Oh, let him sleep it off" because they know him.
Was that an animal cage in the jail cell?
What?
With him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like a gerbil or hamster cage.
Yeah.
In the jail cell
I
with
didn't even
him.
notice.
Like
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if that's actually his house.
No.
Like
That's
he
what I thought, too, 'cause
Like that
there's
he
like a
comes
little-
back to the jail cell and lives there and has like a hamster and stuff, and they just let him sleep in there.
well, they don't.
I
Really
think so because there was like a little sink and I think in a TV too.
well, they don't really show where he lives or anything like that. At any
Maybe
point,
he
so
lives in jail.
Maybe. I don't know. But he says he hears like aliens coming through in his feelings, like you said, and Harv, who's I guess the sheriff.
He honestly, that guy plays the same character in like every movie.
Yeah.
Any movie I can remember that dude in, he's
Good
always like
God, I'm the sheriff.
a sheriff or like a deputy
Yeah.
or something along those lines.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he is the sheriff, correct? And then the guy under him
Yeah.
is
He's chief.
his deputy. So anyway, Harv tells him he's like you got to go to your job. You don't want to lose your job, right? He's like, "Oh, no, you're right." Like that's why like I don't know if he's like simple, Because like I get he's like an alcoholic, but when that's said to him, he's like, "Oh no, I'm like I love my job, and you're right, I need to go." Like how the fuck like I don't know.
I like how he was like, I think he was blaming it on the aliens. He was like, that's why my professional career ended. And right. And he's asking the secretary, and she's just like, yeah, Charlie, you could have been in the major leagues. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, dang, do they go through this every day?
Probably.
Groundhog Day with this guy.
You talking about like the movie?
Maybe.
I've never seen it, so.
Oh.
Thanks for ruining it, and now I have to watch. Okay, last week you said you'd never seen The Matrix, so please don't start with those phases.
Yeah, but Groundhog Day's been out since for like 80 something. Matrix came out in like 99.
Probably 98.
So you've had more time to see that than I have time to see The Matrix.
Okay. Well, I mean, not really, because I've only been alive so long, so.
Yeah, I've only been alive for so long too, so.
Oh, you're right. Now that I think about it, you're kind of right.
Then it cuts to
The
back to the prison in Asteroid 17.
Yeah.
And you see the warden who looks like he was just spray painted in the face as his makeup.
You can
If he
actually,
sweats, his that's coming right off.
I feel like there was a scene where like he furrowed his eyebrow, and I could see the line of the bald cap that they put on his head.
Dude,
This is
I think
this is so inconsistent.
with a lot of
love
that
it.
stuff, I mean, I guess
great effects. And
if you're
then
going to cut
terrible
anywhere, it
effects.
might as well be on aliens, because they could look like anything.
Yeah.
So,
But then it shows the warden calling the bounty hunters to tell them to get to the critters.
yeah.
Or Krites.
Yeah. He's like, the Krites have been traced to Earth. He's like, I hope that your transformation powers, or he's like, I hope, not he hopes.
There's
He's
only-
like, your transformation powers will come in handy, and I hope that you're less destructive this time. So, like, they've definitely used them before, and apparently they are destructive.
Yeah, understatement.
Yeah, a fucking little bit. So, the one of them, I guess they start looking stuff up about like Earth, so they can kind of get an idea of what they're dealing with and how they want to transform or what they're transforming into. So one of them starts watching an artist known as Johnny Steele. And when-
Power of the night.
Yeah, Power of the Night. Johnny Steele's played by Terrence Mann. I don't think he's in a whole lot, but he's definitely in, I think, all the Critters movies. Or you guys have seen all of them, right? I've never seen any of them besides this one.
I haven't seen the fourth one, but I know he's in the second one.
He's in 1, 2, 3.
Well, there's only 4, so.
I don't know if he's in 4.
Yeah.
I feel like he is. I can't remember. It's been so long since
I've never seen.
it.
I've never seen 4. I can say that. And I only watched like the third one in the last like 5 years, say 10 years.
I mean, I know eventually you find out like later on. It's kind of like the same thing as Pinhead. Like he didn't have a name in the first film, but then they gave him a name.
Well, he has a name. It's Johnny Steele. He plays the Power of the Night.
Yeah.
That's a good song. The streets are calling.
I don't know what his 80s film and they're
of the
bangers,
night.
man.
Yeah, dude, I love this. Like, well, and the music video for it is so fucking funny. Because,
It's like that's like an 80s music video though.
but the thing is, like, you can tell how like shitty and rushed it was. Like, dude, he doesn't even have like a belt on. He has fucking jeans and a shirt, and like,
I don't have a belt on right now.
But I'm saying, like, for that time,
You're not even wearing pants.
the way I don't know, and
No, I
he like
understand.
jumps into a crowd that you don't see.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
they definitely
understand.
just filmed this on a stage. Filmed this
Yeah.
on a stage.
They
just
definitely
that.
like hung black curtains from Walmart up in the back of the basement and just were like, all right,
No, we don't have any
Hang it out.
sponsors with Walmart because that's the second time where I've talked about it. So
Target.
But if they want to sponsor us, they can definitely sponsor us because we definitely need that Walmart money. But so yeah, the one of them transforms into Johnny Steele. Goes back to the cuts back to the house. Charlie is supposed to be working, but instead him and Brad are dicking around and with fireworks, I
Yeah.
guess, and shit, or firecrackers, whatever you want to consider.
honestly, Charlie doesn't look like anyone that'd be working on a farm, and that you like what he's wearing doesn't look like he would be working on a farm or a car or anything.
I thought that in the beginning about Jay, the dad.
But he has overalls on. and
Yeah,
black
but in the
hands
beginning,
now.
yeah, well, yeah. In the beginning, he was like working in the cellar, and he had like overalls on and a like plaid shirt, and his sleeves were rolled up, but nothing was dirty. So I don't know what he's doing. I mean, it was the morning, I guess, but
I just
anyway.
want to say for the record, Brad's a terrorist.
In today's standards, yeah.
okay, yeah, that's something I was gonna bring up later.
That ain't a firework that he's making.
Well, that's not yet, right? So at first, he has like M80, so
Yeah.
it's like,
And
it's
then later on, we're gonna see like, okay, this is a little suspicious out here.
yeah, I thought the same exact thing.
Because it was like, I think the first thing he's like making is like a little firecracker, and then like next thing he's moving on to like, okay, what is even happening right now?
Yeah.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah. But yeah, he's supposed to be like working, and instead they're like blowing shit up, and then he's trying to fix, I guess,
The
Brad's.
carburetor or something.
Well, he's trying to fix Brad's.
Oh, the slingshot.
I'm
The
saying.
slingshot.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
remember
yeah.
when the
Yeah.
DJ comes over.
So
It tells me a metal
yeah, he's
can
like,
that's
yeah, go
right
get,
next to him.
Yeah, he's like, oh, go get me a like aluminum can. So I guess I thought he was gonna fix it with aluminum can. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but it turns out he's just trying to shoot it.
No, but I'm saying when he said it, it's just literally right next to his foot for him to grab to bring
Yeah.
into the scene.
Yeah. And Jay comes out. He's like, after he hears the explosion from the firework, and he's like, "You like your job, Charlie?" Like saying, like, "Get the fucking work, like, bro." And a car comes pulling down the driveway, and Jay's like, "Oh, great, now what?" And it's a New York license plate that says,
I don't give a shit about your other car.
"What?"
Well, no, around it says like around his thing. What do you call it? Thing around?
Yeah. So the plate's too great, which
Yeah,
is awesome.
too great.
But the plate little outline says, "I don't give a shit what your other car is."
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
Billy-
didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I had forgotten that Billy Zane was in this. And
Yeah.
as soon as I saw the license plate, I was like, who the hell? And I was like, it's okay, it's Billy Zane.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all right.
Yep. But it's April and Steve, bro. Steve. Fucking Billy Zane. So they get out and they're talking with like Jay and stuff, and Charlie and Brad are off still by like the barn or whatever the fuck that is, the shed. And I don't know why the fuck Charlie thinks it's a good idea to try to shoot this like tin can that you could clearly see people are in the background, but he shoots and misses and hits April in the ass, and she gets all mad and turns around
and says she's gonna kill Brad.
Yeah, well, Brad real quick is like, shit, like switch, and he hands Charlie the carburetor, and he takes the slingshot and then starts running.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously he doesn't want fucking Charlie to get in any trouble for any dumb shit.
Yeah, that's, well, at first when he came up to him, Jay came up to Brad, he was about to rat him out, then he's like, yeah, you're right, I guess I did it.
Yeah. And then when he does, like, admit it, his dad grounds him, and he's like, go to your room. So he goes up to his room, and do you know what he listens to? Power of the Night. Okay. No, maybe we'll talk about it later. I don't know. Just, okay, so Johnny Steele, I guess, is popular, yeah? Popular enough so these aliens choose him of all people to, like, copy. And then Brad's listening to him. How come literally nobody else knows who the fuck Johnny Steele is?
Other than Brad.
And maybe Brad's mom.
Yeah, because she was listening to it on the TV.
She was getting real horny.
Yeah, I think she liked it. She's like, oh, what am I doing with this guy, Jay?
But then they're all eating dinner, and after a while, April's like, oh, didn't you promise to take me for a ride? And Steve's like, what? I did? Oh, yeah, like, I guess I did. And obviously the parents are a little suspicious. And Helen, is that D-Ross's?
Yeah, Helen.
Helen's like, oh, doesn't anyone want dessert? And they're like, nope. And they, like, leave.
I like how the dad's like, did you talk to her about things, how they work in the world? And she's like, years ago, honey. And he just stopped and goes, years ago?
What? Years? Brad's upstairs, and this is where he's making the homemade explosives.
That's a pipe bomb.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. That's a pipe bomb.
Yeah, he says firecracker.
That's not. He's
But
literally
it's-
pouring gunpowder down a pipe
Yeah, with a fuse.
with a fuse.
And it's all like taped together and shit.
I think he's trying to kill his
Nowadays,
family.
he would literally get put on a list.
I think he's trying to kill his family.
Yeah.
I'll
Like-
be honestly, I think he's literally fed up with this all-American wholesome life. He's ready, in the name of jihad, to kill his family.
And maybe, like, back in the day, that was more accepting, or, like, they were accept that kind of stuff more, like fucking around with explosives. Like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
I love watching these old films. Old, really, by what standard at this point, right?
No, they're older.
I guess you could consider them old.
They're old. They're, like, fucking older than all of us.
And you just
They're old.
C.
and you realize like the 80s generation is not that far away from us, how we grew up, but like we look back, we were in middle school for 9/11, and
I wasn't. I was in...
or you were in elementary.
Yeah, I was in elementary
You were in
school.
elementary school. I was in middle school.
Yeah.
So
Didn't you guys graduate together?
no, I did 6th grade twice.
Yeah.
So you...
I was a special 6th grader.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we came up in our teen years post 9/11, right? Where if you said the word bomb, the CIA found you and tackled you to the ground.
Bomb, bomb,
Well, he
bomb.
doesn't even
Bomb,
consider it a
bomb,
bomb.
bomb.
He considers it a
Bomb,
firecracker.
Right, but
when
like I'm
it's clearly
saying,
not
like
just a
this just shows
firecracker.
like there's just so much stuff back in these times like that would just not happen today.
Right.
I think it's kind of a shame, but I think all kids should be allowed to build pipe bombs.
I don't think so.
Not a big deal.
Probably a bad idea.
That's not a...
We
That's
do
not-
not. We do not
that's
endorse
not a-
these statements.
We do not endorse children buying,
that's not a
building,
thought
or
of
using
Vintage Horror
explosives.
Podcast. That could, so...
Yeah.
Legal has told us to clarify that. We do not endorse it.
So then,
They go on the longest ride ever, Brad. I mean,
yeah,
not Brad.
Yeah.
Steve and April.
Brad watches them go on the longest ride ever, where they pull like just behind like the fucking barn, and that's it.
Literally 2 seconds.
Yeah. What's weird is she's driving, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would anybody let her drive?
Because I think it was... I thought he was going to teach her how to drive like stick or something. So that's maybe what I thought it was. But then when she just pulls up and then it they get out. I'm
Yeah.
like,
He's like, what?
that reminds me of Not Another Teen Movie when they do that. when the kids are like, "Are you guys ready to go to the party?" And then they drive up to the next house.
Yeah. So then the dad comes in to talk to Brad, and he confiscates the slingshot.
He also does give him food too, because
Yeah.
originally he said no supper.
Yeah, and he says like, "Thank your mother for making this plate of food for you." And then he's like, "Where's the slingshot?" He takes it, and he says, "No movies for 2 weeks." Is this the punishment you were talking about?
Yeah, that and the food thing at first. Like, he's like, "Oh, you shot your sister in the ass with a little stone. You're not eating dinner." It's like, oh, it really wasn't. I mean, everybody's okay. Like, you gonna starve the child out, and he goes upstairs.
Well, obviously he's not gonna starve to death.
I know, but he goes up there. It's just kind
it's
of
a
like
punishment though.
I don't know. I just
And he was hot at the time, he was mad. So
well, he
He didn't act like it.
I guess
no
he did when he
food,
sent him
young
up to his
man.
room. He acted like it.
Yeah, but like it's just like typical of all dads. He comes back in and like he goes for like the forgiveness line. He's like, "I understand, son. These things happen. By the way, no movies, and you're confined to your room." It's like, who? I'm so confused in your tone right now.
Does he watch like a lot of movies to where the 2-week thing is a big deal? I don't think they reference
I don't
a
know,
movie
'cause
anywhere.
I think a lot of the posters in the kids' room are like the Police and like other like musical artists
Yeah,
and stuff. So
when
I
it
don't
says
know.
like no movies for 2 weeks, I'm like, what the fuck? That doesn't even seem like it's that big of a deal.
I mean, probably if it was like no TV or something, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
he specifically says movies. So then it cuts to April and Steve, and they're like hooking up in the barn. And yeah, I don't know. That's my guy Billy Zane out there just getting it in.
Well, but he wasn't down with it. He's like, "Oh, your dad's gonna
Yeah.
kill me, or
And
I'm
and
toast
was
or
like,
something."
"No, we're gonna make sex. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen."
we're gonna make sex, and nobody comes in here after dark, so don't worry about that. And Brad sneaks out of his room, and he goes onto the roof. I don't know. I guess I don't know what he's doing out there. To be honest with you, I don't know. He's playing. I don't know what the fuck, dude. I wonder. Okay, I'm assuming it's not a real roof he sneaks out onto. Somebody climbs out onto a real roof, but then a lot of like him on the roof is like close-ups of like the house. So I want to know if they put that actor like on a real roof.
But maybe
I don't know if this was before like they cared if children died.
one of the things I will say though, and it's kind of a dumb little thing. The house Mark had mentioned was built for the film.
Mm-hmm.
You can really tell because when you look at the roof on that house, like there's a couple shots where it's like looking at the house from the outside. That roof ain't keeping nothing out. Like it's one of the worst crafted. Like it looks like they had 6 guys up there and just slapped whatever together to make a roof.
So at this point in the movie, you also like Jay hears something outside, so he's in his bedroom and he opens up the window. And I thought that about the window too. The way it just folds open, I'm like, dude, if it rains hard and like it's like wind driven rain, it's blowing right into his fucking house. Nothing is stopping that.
Yeah, they definitely budgeted that house.
Yeah, I mean, but
For obvious
I
reasons.
guess it doesn't look
later
too
on.
out of the ordinary though. But so the aliens are coming to land, and Charlie sees them on his bike. Everything's like shaking. There's like an earthquake, and Jay's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go investigate this." Well, he doesn't say it, but
Yeah.
that's still on his face.
Well, originally
Yeah.
he gets called down because the TV ain't working.
Yeah, because the TV's fucking up, and this is where she was watching Johnny Steele on TV. Helen was, but then the house starts shaking, so he goes outside and he catches Brad in the tree, and because Brad's like climbing out to sneak out, and then he's like, "Get down from there," because Brad's like, "Oh, well, the house is shaking. It shook me right out of the
Right out
house.
the window.
Right into the trees."
Yeah.
So like, "Get down from there," and he comes down. He's like, "Wow, you've done that a
Cut
couple
the
times,
bull,
huh?"
get down from there.
Yeah. So they go out, I guess Brad and his dad, Jay, they go out to go take a look around.
Investigate.
Investigate, see what the fuck is up. Check out everything. And they find like a steer or cattle, whatever the
A
fuck.
bull
they were-
eaten
a
by the
bull.
chupacabra.
Yeah, it was like all ripped apart and shit. I wonder how much they spent on that, making that. Or if there was
What,
like a real...
The chupacabra, that's real chupacabra.
There was a chupacabra in the scene?
No, and like that's what ate the bull.
Yeah, obviously, Jerky Boy.
The goat sucker.
They show Jeff Barnes, who is the deputy for the police department. He was driving like down the road, and there's this like little ball.
Wait,
of
what's his name in the movie? Jim?
Jeff.
It's not.
But the way she says it, she's like Jeff.
Yeah, so I thought she
Jeff.
said Jim in the beginning, and then she said Jeff later, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this
I'm
lady doing?
Jeff.
Yeah, the way she like she's got like a country accent. Because I heard his name too, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I was looking up the character, and it says Jeff Barnes. But she like has a country accent, and over the radio, it kept sounding like Jim, or Jan or something.
Jeff.
He was like Jeff.
Jeff.
I don't know, Jeff. But he's driving, and there's like a little furry thing that runs across the road, so he swerves off the road and almost crashes his police vehicle.
Damn dog.
He gets out to like investigate. Everybody's investigating in this movie. That's what they should have named
Investigate 9/11.
Well, hot topic. Investigate 311. How about that? Legalized ranch.
You mind if I hit this?
But he gets out, dude. He like takes out his billy club and he's like, "Here, poochie. Like he's gonna fucking beat a dog.
Yeah, right. I'm about to beat his ass.
Yeah,
doing
right.
that.
He needs his ass beat. But he's like looking around, and then he gets hit in the knee with like a quill or something, and fucking drops like straight to the floor. Like definitely tore his ACL, PCL,
MCL.
MCL,
GCL.
meniscus.
Yeah, but when then that happens, he gets like pulled under the car and just shakes. And
Yeah.
I'm assuming that means he's dying.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just dying, and that's our first death of the movie.
Yeah. And the body count rises.
Hardly. And then, dude, it cuts to Helen using the garbage disposal, which this is probably the scariest moment of the whole movie.
Tell me about it.
Because she's taking all the food with her hands and shoving it in the garbage disposal, and her hands like going into the sink a little bit. I'm like, bro, her hands are about to go missing.
I literally said that like as she was doing that, I said, "Is that the number one thing you're not supposed to do with the garbage disposal?
Yeah.
Shove your hands." And she's doing it like so.
Yeah, like she don't give a fuck. I seen Last House on the Left, dude. The remake.
Spoiler alerts. Now I don't need to watch Last House remake.
Bro, it's like fucking 11 years
Spoiler
old.
alert.
You're gonna look up the date, and it's probably fucking 2009.
No,
My bad.
I'm not gonna look up the date.
But yeah, she's like at the sink, and then you see a low profile shot that comes up to the house and like scares the cat. So she like is kind of like looking around. She's like looking out the window, and then you see a pair of glowing red eyes looking at her, and she gets so fucking scared.
Yeah, she drops the plate.
Yeah, she broke the plate.
Yeah, broke the plate.
Broke my plate. You dog dick. And
And then Jay's like the manly guy, like looking through the window. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out there and check it out.
yeah, and then they cut to the bounty hunters, and they're landing, and the one who looks like Johnny Steele is like transform, and the other one's like nothing likes me. He's like find something.
He's just green chewing gum.
Yeah, dude, he literally looks like chewing gum.
He's still got you know what it reminded me of? Remember back when we were in high school, like some of the Halloween costumes would be like the green overall onesie.
Yes,
It reminded me of that like the whole time.
I guess it.
Never seen those.
Yes, you have. The spandex, like I used the red one for when I was Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider.
No, I don't remember.
You are literally the worst kind of person. But
And then Jay's like, "Yo, gotta call Harv up. Let him know what's up."
yeah. Well, no, what?
After they show the aliens, like when he's like transformed, then it cuts back to the house
When the power goes out, or
Yeah.
before the power goes out?
before the power goes out, and he's
Oh.
like, "Damn,
yeah.
phone."
Yeah, about the cattle and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that.
Technology.
Because he doesn't know what did that.
And then the lights flicker.
Yeah, and the power goes out, so they go into like the cellar.
But he's like, "Yeah, we gotta call Harv." But like, why isn't he worrying about his daughter?
because
like-
he thinks that she's out on a drive.
No, but I'm saying they're all like nervous about like what's going on with the earthquake and stuff like that, and they're like, "Don't think about April."
I guess, but I think that it's not really the. Well, first of all, what the fuck is Harv going to do about an earthquake? Second of all, I think
What is that guy gonna do about anything?
I think it's more of like something killed his cattle, and I don't think he really thinks it's an animal. To be honest, because I don't. You're right. What would he do about that?
I don't think he's doing
So-
anything about anything.
But still, he's like going to let him know that something's up. That I don't think it was about the earthquake, really,
Yeah.
in my eyes. But so then they go into like the cellar to again investigate, and Jay sees like that the wires to the panel box.
Of course
well, the
the-
wire is like ripped away, and like was that the front of the whole panel box was ripped off and removed
Oh yeah.
because I don't know what the inside of a panel, but it like looked like there was like a regular panel box with the breakers, like the switches, and then there was a panel box with like those old style breakers, which I don't even know if you know what they
The
look
push breakers?
like. Yeah, kind of like where they screw in.
Yeah. I didn't actually pay attention to
Yeah,
that.
the second box, I don't know, but then the wires like ripped,
I'll have to go back and watch just for that scene.
and okay, that's probably not worth it. Just probably skip through.
Didn't even think about
And he's
that.
panning around with the flashlight, and then there's like a critter on a shelf, a kite, or something fuzzy on the shelf moving, and then he looks at it, and it tries to like bite him.
Yeah, and of course this guy's about to get his ass beat.
Yeah, it tries to like bite him, and he's like, oh, and he like pulls away, and then one just drops from the ceiling, like latches onto his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is I thought it was a good reveal of the creatures.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm really fighting for Jay here because I thought he was doomed the first time I watched this.
Yeah.
Like when it dropped on him.
Yeah, because you learn a bunch of things here. Like, first of all, it drops on him, and you're like, oh. And then another one comes out of, like, nowhere and shoots him with a quill, which you learn now that's a whole power these things have.
Yeah.
And then another one grabs him on the leg, and that's when Jay reminds them that he's a manly man. And he grabs that, I think, was it a hammer?
Yeah, well, so before, yeah, when the one bites him on the leg, yeah, he hits it with the hammer and gets it off. And then that's when
And then they
gets-
spike him in the back, right, with the quills.
yeah, as he's like running up the stairs or getting pulled up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
they did
get
a
him
number on him.
with a quill.
Yeah, but when they're like, what's down there? He's like, I don't know what those things are, but they're meaner than hell. But the way he says it is like, he sounds like he's about to go to sleep, which I guess the quill, that's what it's doing to him.
Yeah.
So he does a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, he's pretty relaxed about it.
Unless he just didn't care about the scene and just said that like that.
Throw
Well,
away.
that seems like the whole movie, like he like underacts. Like he's not
Phoning it in.
I don't want to say he's phoning it in, but he's not like animated like some people when they act. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Animaniacs. Okay, very good.
Yes. So yeah, he beats the one critter, and then the other critter shoots him as he's like with the like quill needle thing as he's like running up the stairs. He starts getting a little drowsy. It goes to the bounty hunters. Back to the bounty hunters.
woozy here.
Feel a little woozy here. Goes back to the bounty hunters who find Jeff, who's hanging out from underneath his police vehicle, and he's dead. And the one like transforms into Jeff. So the one who hasn't.
He
transformed
literally
yet.
could have picked anyone else, and he picked a guy that looks like a zombie.
Yeah, and then so in return he looks like a zombie, like walking dead version of Jeff.
So we've got Johnny Steele and Zombie Jeff.
Yeah. So then they get into his car though, and they like start it by like hot wiring it because I think he tries the key and it like doesn't work, so he just like throws it. He's like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
the
I
key.
know.
So then he hot wires the car, and the one who's just like Johnny Steele is like fucking with his shotgun, trying to figure out how to start this car. And when they start it, and then he like pulls the fucking trigger on the shotgun that's facing up, blows a hole in the roof, and then they start driving in reverse down the road. I don't know if this movie, I guess it was meant to be a little humorous too.
Yeah, I mean, it is technically listed as a horror sci-fi comedy.
But I wonder how much of it was supposed to be a comedy beforehand.
And how much it just unintentionally became one.
Yes. Jay says his like face, or he's feeling like numb, like he can't feel stuff. Because they cut back to Jay.
Yeah, he's
inside
getting
the
like
house,
patched
yeah.
up at home.
Yeah, and he says like he can't really feel stuff.
He's on the
Probably
drugs.
because of the quill
But-
we get.
Wouldn't you be like, yeah, we got to go to the hospital?
This is Kansas. There are no hospitals.
But there's also the stuff outside, and that's what they're really worried about.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying if they all ran to the car, they wouldn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they try that. So, but April and goes back to April and Steve, who are still in the fucking barn this whole time, still just making out. That's all they're doing, just kissing, I guess. And he goes to like reach up to the radio, and fucking a critter like attacks him, a
Yeah.
crate, whatever it's called, attacks him and kills him. Blood everywhere.
Rip
Yeah,
to the big homie.
What is this? His like second movie ever though?
I
First
think.
speaking role, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he wasn't a big star at the time, but still, like you said, R.I.P. to the.
Even his
Big
kill,
homie.
though, was a little comical because he got his fingers, I think a couple of his fingers bit off.
Yeah.
And then the crate got him right in the stomach, and he like ran in a circle for a minute with it like on his stomach, and then ran into the wall. and like knocked himself like almost like a comical like knock himself down.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like you start to wonder like intended comical or did it age that way?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, yeah, I wondered that the whole time, like if they were trying to be so serious and it just came out goofy.
Man.
But then April tries to like, I guess, help out, and she picks up like a pitchfork or something and tries coming at like the one crate, and it just fucking like bites the fucking handle. Like, nah, fuck this,
Yeah.
and breaks it.
He's got the strong teeth. Uses crest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rest in peace, Callie came to America for a new start and got killed by a crate. It's a shame.
Wasn't he always American?
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, did
You
anyone,
fucking stupid bitch.
wait, did anyone Titanic even have an accent?
No. Did they?
I don't think so. I think they forgot about that when
Well, they didn't come from another country. They're from the U.S.
No, but everyone on there was coming from England, right, or somewhere.
No.
Where are they coming from?
I think it was just old America.
What do you mean? Old Titanic did not leave from
No,
old
no, no,
America
no.
to
It
go
was
to
leaving
New
from
York.
Europe. It was leaving. From
Really?
Yes.
It went down in the North Sea, leaving from the UK.
Dude, I don't know shit. I'm gonna tell you that right
Why
now.
do you think all the people in like the undercarriage are like
We're
were like,
Irish?
Yeah, they were like
We're Scottish?
yeah. And then some of them were like so there was like an Italian guy in there.
Well, I don't know. I never really put too much thought into it. I also haven't seen Titanic since, I don't know. I know I saw it in theaters when I was little, but
I just know that I'll never let go.
is that what that's from?
I thought that was just Travis' tattoo.
No, well, it is, but
Oh, okay.
yeah. So they hear all the screaming in the barn. So Brad comes to help, and he throws like an explosive at another like firecracker at one of the critters, and it eats it. Dude, and I guess it blows up in him, but
yeah, but I love there's no sound and
Yeah.
it's just the expansion
yeah,
and then he's just like oh shit.
and it like topples over. Yeah, that could have been a great point for like it to explode.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, like, from one of the things that I was reading up on is that like they didn't have that many critter puppets to work with, and they wanted to blow that one up, but they were like, yeah, no, let's not do that. Like,
And
we
I
don't
don't know
wanna
if it
waste
was
them.
true or not, but I think I read that each one cost $10,000 to make.
Holy shit! Well, if there was animatronics and
Or
shit, in it,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Each of them cost $10,000, so they probably want to blow up a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm. So, it shows Charlie in a quick scene trying to find Harv, and trying to tell him about everything. And the dispatcher's just like, all right, yeah, I want to go home, Charlie. Like, I don't care about whatever the fuck it is you're rambling on about. Goes back to the hunters who crash like through a church that's in session.
Okay, but whatever they hit is cardboard because it just falls
That's what I'm saying. Like,
over.
everything in this movie, like,
Can we talk about? All right,
What?
maybe it's because I was raised in church, so
Uh-huh.
it was kind of a funny scene where like the pastor's like, "Well, we're gonna go over
He's the
Genesis
reverend.
now." Or, yeah, the reverend, pastor, reverend,
he's a reverend.
He's a reverend.
That's
the
what they call him,
honorable
reverend.
He's he goes, "We're gonna talk about Genesis today, and obviously this is the chapter on Sodom and Gomorrah." And he looks at the two old ladies and,
And,
like,
like, yeah.
I'm like, okay, we get
they're
it.
horny.
Sodomy,
Yeah.
we get it. All right.
Yeah.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
And the car in full reverse just barrel asses through and
Literally,
takes
that
out
could have been
awning.
poster board. Like something he would write on and go to WWE and go, it's Austin 316. That's what they've used to build it.
Yeah. Walls aren't made like that. Because there's like a couple scenes in this movie where shit gets destroyed and like whole pieces of like drywall just fall. Like it looks like almost a whole sheet. Like that would never happen.
Yeah.
Like it looks like there's no framing to like that they pinned it down to, just the edges. I don't know.
Framing's expensive, so.
Well, yeah. Well, building supplies in general. So, but yeah. So they like go up to the hunters, the bounty hunters. They go up to the Reverend, and the one who's dead Jeff transforms into the Reverend, and then just starts shooting shit.
He's
Yeah,
wild.
he shoots like
She touches like the
piano.
organ.
Yeah.
She like touches
Yeah.
the organ. He just blows that
Yeah.
organ to pieces.
Yeah, just starts shooting shit.
Literally wild.
And then
out
they're like,
there.
"All right, fuck it, time. It's time to leave."
I'm assuming they had stuff to destroy, so they're like, all right, we just got to fill it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Get rid of this cardboard.
And then when they get into the car, I like how when they like go to drive away, he like looks behind him, the one hunter, like they're gonna start reversing again, and they pull forward this time. because I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh my god, it got me so good. Because I haven't seen that. Well, even though I watched this like a couple months ago, I forgot. I thought that they literally drove the whole time in reverse. I forgot that like he pulls forward.
forward there.
Yeah, at that part. So like I
And later on, you see him go to put it in reverse too, and then
Yeah.
he stops himself.
yeah. And it goes back to the house, and Jay's grabbing a gun. His gun. He's got many guns, but he grabs one. They plan to drive somewhere like away. Like Mark was saying, like it'd be a good idea to leave and go to like a hospital or somewhere just away from the house. So they get to the truck, and the interior has been like ripped apart. Which, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like anything mechanically could have been wrong. From what I see, it looks like somebody just ripped apart the seats and they're like, "Oh, that's uncomfortable. I'm not really."
Yeah, you
got
gotta be comfortable when you drive.
Yeah. So then they go over to Steve's car because they're like, "Oh fuck it, let's take Steve's car." And there's just critters like inside, and you can see that they're clearly getting bigger
Yeah.
because the one that's in the car I think is bigger than like the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the big boy.
Yeah. Another critter drops on Jay and like rebites his wound.
Dude, he's getting his ass beat
Yeah,
this whole
and
time.
I wonder if they just reopen that one wound because they're like, well, fuck it, it's easier than keep having to do makeup on like
Oh yeah.
different spots.
Oh yeah.
So they just,
I wonder if it was
Ribbon.
the same critter too that bit him there the first time. He's like, I'm back for more.
I don't know. So there's only supposed to be 8 of them, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And one's dead so far. Yes,
We assume he's dead. Yeah.
the one that ate the firecracker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's just taking a nap. Got indigestion.
yeah, the one that's biting on Jay, like Helen runs up with a golf club. I think a golf club and like smacks it.
Yeah,
She
and
got
then
a
they
good swing.
try to get back inside, and the fucking dumbasses lock themselves
Yeah,
out.
somehow they lock themselves out. So Brad like runs around to the back of the house to try to go through the back door to open the door, but then that's locked. So he realizes he has to climb the tree, and then a critter tries getting him, and just misses.
And then Jay tries to shoot at one of the critters or krites, whatever they're called. He's got the same accuracy as Kyle in Fortnite.
Shots fired.
So we hit him or no?
No, he missed. He's like, damn.
It's really weird. When we won last night, I'm pretty sure I was destroying people. So
What-
You also knocked yourself
But what
off
I
the roof.
what I don't
Yeah,
get
well,
either.
you're
is,
welcome. We won because of me.
So, the first time she goes to fire the gun.
Yeah, it's by the way, it's Helen that fires the gun at that point.
No,
Yeah.
no. Before that, Jay shoots first.
I thought Han shot first.
I don't know what that means, but Jay shoots, and then he's like, then when the thing falls on him, she takes the gun.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then she goes to like reload the gun, but she drops the shell.
Yeah. He's like, my pocket.
Yeah, and then when she drops the shell, she goes to try to grab it, but the critter's threatening to bite.
Okay.
You almost sound exactly like it.
Yeah, that's not sound effects. That's my teeth breaking. And so then finally, Brad opens up the door for them. They all go inside.
Oh, now we're getting to my favorite.
But at
scene
this
in the
point,
entire
dude,
movie.
does Brad leave that window open?
It's not.
When he gets in to climb in through the window, he leaves the window open. Those suckers are probably getting right back in there.
Well, they can get it in any way they want.
Yeah,
really.
you're right.
But this is
But-
my favorite.
But the
scene in
critters,
whole
when the
movie.
critters are talking to each other.
Yeah.
Oh.
When he's like, the critter, they're closing the door,
Yeah.
and the critter's like, the humans have weapons, and the other critter's talking to him. This is all subtitles.
Yeah.
And the other critter says, "So what?"
Yeah.
And so he fires that shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Helen shoots one of the critters, so that's the second one to die.
Yeah, blows that
Yeah.
son of a bitch away.
And then the one that's left is like, fuck. Literally says fuck.
Yeah.
And the subtitle says fuck. And then he rolls away.
That's probably my favorite
Yeah.
scene in the movie.
It goes to the bowling alley where Jay is supposed to be because he's supposed to be. Was this for the championships? He said
Yeah, the
earlier.
championship.
Like this is like the championship
He's never
game,
late.
and they're like he's never late. So they're trying to call him, and on the back of their shirt, this is where Rob was saying earlier. You see the Ghostbusters spoof. Their shirt
Pinbusters.
looks like Ghostbusters symbol, but it's like the head's in shape of a pin. And it says Pinbusters underneath it. Which Ghostbusters only came out 2 years before this, so they were pretty on the up and up with that.
Yeah, you see a lot of big horror movie influences in this, like, in my opinion. Like,
Like what?
personally, like, when I look at it, I see things like,
Gremlins.
Alien, Star Wars, Gremlins.
No, I was just joking about Gremlins because we already went over that.
Yeah. But I'm saying is like I just see like they're cashing in on a lot of what was popular at this point in the 80s, and a lot of it had already been done.
Furbies
before.
too.
Yo,
I don't think those were out yet.
Furbies were terrifying. I don't know.
What? So this came out in '86.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, they already had a plethora to grab from.
Yeah, I mean it was just following the trend.
Yeah.
But then the bounty hunters roll up, and he literally pulls the door like it was never even hinged in the first place.
He just rips the door right off the bowling alley.
I don't even think it was hinged or anything.
Yeah.
Like I tried to slow it down and look at everything, and I think it was just placed there.
Yeah. It had to have been. There's no way he ripped that off of anything.
Very strong.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Well, I mean, technically, yeah, you might be right because he might have been a real alien, so.
Yeah, I think he is.
And then the Johnny Steele one picks up so like everyone stops and is looking at these guys who just ripped the fucking door off the bowling alley. They walk all the way down to one of the lanes, and the Johnny Steele looking guy picks up one of the balls and like looks at it and just throws it down the lane and destroys the fucking pins, like turns them into dust. And then the one guy who's on the Pinbusters is like, I wonder what team he plays on or something like that. I wonder what team he's on. Then the bounty hunters, they go over to the bar area, and the guys who were playing pool, like, oh my god, when he looks at him and they like laugh, and he's like, it ain't Halloween, is it? I fucking, like typical fucking hick redneck bullshit, picking on people who got fucking style, you know? And then the Reverend Hunter like turns in. He changes again. He turns into Charlie this time.
Who's always drinking.
Yeah.
Every time we see him.
Yeah. By the way, Charlie's there, drunk. And
I like how he's like pouring him another drink. He's like, I don't want more, and he just downs it, and they start pouring his cup again.
Yeah. And there's on TV. There's like a Western, right? That's what that is, like playing.
Yeah.
On the TV, like black and white, and then there's a shot from the TV. So the one who like was Charlie, like turned into Charlie, like, shoots the fucking TV, and then the hunters just start like shooting up the fucking bar in the bowling alley. What's funny is, like, everyone's seen running out of the bowling alley, and when they go back, like show a shot back in the bowling alley, and the like hunters are leaving, there's nothing really that destroyed though, and they're like firing a bunch of shots.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they use that secret
I don't know, but they're
technology.
just fucking wild. They're just out there popping off.
Now we understand exactly why that warden was like, make sure we're not so destructive this time.
Dude, I didn't even catch that.
What do you mean?
I'm just joking. I did catch that.
You're about to catch these hands.
Whoa. Well, let me read you off a list of things you can catch. Number 1, these hands. Number 2, a cold. Number 3, these hands. Number 4, a ball. Number 5, Las Mananas. Is that how you say hands? What the fuck is hands?
That's definitely.
Let me read something
what's
you're not going
mananas?
to catch, Kyle.
Oh, Manana's like tomorrow. Or
Yeah, that's
something.
like
morning.
you just said the tomorrow.
I'm going to
Yeah.
read you something you're not going to catch.
Yeah.
Mickey Gall versus Diego Sanchez.
Why? What time is it?
7:20.
Uh,
So after they destroy the bar, doesn't the one when he like when he picks up the one dude like tells him to put him on a shirt or put on a shirt or something like that?
I think he's quoting from a line that was in the Western, wasn't it?
He said something about put
So
it.
he's
I
like,
don't
"Keep
know."
your-" he's like, keep your shirt on.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I think they had
no-
just said it in the Western before.
And
that.
I even rewound it, and I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, why did he say that?
Yeah, I mean, he's learning how to be an American.
Yeah, I guess so. Harv gets called in the middle of the night because the dispatcher says all hell is breaking loose.
Yeah.
And he said, better be worth it or whatever. Goes back to the house, and Brad's checking like all the windows. And
Also,
knocking
Jay
them.
looks like he's gonna die at this point. He's like on the couch laying down or something
Yeah.
like that.
So Brad's checking all the windows, and Jay is laying down. And he kind of looks like death. So Brad says, he's looking pretty sick, Mom. And she's like, or he says, I'm okay, sport. And she's like, he's fine. And Brad's like, he doesn't look too fine to me. And she's like, why don't you go check or she's like, no, she's like, why don't you go check the windows? And he's like, I already did. She's like, well, check them again. And you can see this is like her breaking point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's like, this is like I can't fucking take this anymore. Bullshit. But so he just locked all the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes over, sits next to April, and they start making small talk. But then they can see that the critters are trying to come down the chimney, which is behind them. So they shut the flue, and a critter just pops through the fucking window, which he just locked. So check them all you want, but just came right.
They're
through-
invading now.
Yeah.
Now you know why Helen was so mad at making sure he went and double checked because he obviously doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
False sense of security.
For sure.
Yeah,
They didn't have
yes,
ADT.
sir.
That was a problem.
They all go running. No, wait. First, Helen gets needled.
Yeah, she gets spiked.
She gets spiked, dude. And for some reason, like it hurts her. It affects her more than it did Jay because she passes out right away, and they're like fucking dragging her.
Maybe it's something with like the weight, you know? Maybe
I thought
'cause
that
Jay,
too.
Jay weighs is heavier than her.
Yeah, I did think that too. But then again, like she can't fucking take anything apparently. Like it destroys her. But then they run downstairs. Brad goes to shoot a critter, slips. That's coming out of a couch. He slips and falls and shoots a ceiling fan.
That's almost a torn ACL right there.
Yeah, I thought that too, dude. Every time I see something like that in a movie, I'm like, great. He's like tearing a knee or tearing a shoulder, and the ceiling fan falls on the critter. So that should be the third one that's dead. Yes,
I think so.
I'm just trying to keep count just for me. The explosive, the one that gets shot, and then this one.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the third one. And there's supposed to be 8, so 3 out of 8 should be dead. Then everyone runs back upstairs, and then they throw a lantern at like a lit
Yeah,
lantern.
Brad does that.
Yeah.
He's literally no regard for anything. He's like, fuck
Yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
burn this bitch down.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like, dude, what? Like, that's fucking ballsy,
I'm
bro.
telling you,
Just lighting your
signs-
fucking house on fire to get rid of these motherfuckers.
And
The signs are adding up, man. He's building pipe bombs. He's throwing kerosene lanterns on the floor.
I guess he's
Kid's
what's
unstable.
considered a experienced arsonist,
He's an
Pyromaniac.
asshole. That's about it.
a pyrotechnic.
Pyrotechnician?
Yeah, so he knows what he's doing. But yeah, he throws the lantern down on the critter, and it like lights a carpet on fire, and one of them comes rolling like out of the fucking flames and into the toilet.
Yeah.
To like cool off. Cuts to Harv at the church, and like they're like all trying to like talk to him and tell him what happened. And the one old ass bitch is like, they was wearing really funny clothes, like they was from Los Angeles. Like what the fuck does that even mean? Did they say at all where this took place or?
It's in Kansas, but
Kansas.
I don't know what town.
Oh.
I know there's a
Well, yeah.
sign that says like,
Something Grove.
no, it's like the jewel of the sunflower state. So I don't know what town that like represents.
Angel Grove?
That's in LA.
Cedar Grove?
Yeah, Angel Grove is Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Ernie's, all right?
Yeah, I highly doubt that, okay? Probably never had a milkshake in your life. Then the guy, like, they showed the guys from the bar that was in the bowling alley. They're, like, at the police station headquarters, and they're all, like, crowding around trying to, like, tell the dispatcher what the fuck's going on. And she looks like she just, like, got out of bed, too. Does she live there, too? Like, does everybody live at the jail?
Yeah. Great accommodations. 3 square meals a day. Continental breakfast.
Yeah, and then they were saying how they were telling her how Reverend Miller, Charlie, and a stranger shot it up the bar at the Bolarama. The way she said
that's
Bolarama.
Yeah.
Like, very obnoxious. So Harv's like, great, okay.
But no, first like say that again. I'm not hearing you clearly
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
when she's
looking
like,
at the reverend.
The
Yeah, that's what-
Reverend.
yeah, the Reverend Miller, Charlie, and a stranger shot it up the bar at the Bolarama. Cuts back to the house again with the family. And
This
they're
is
all,
my favorite part.
They're all discussing about going for help. Which part's your favorite?
No, like when they're talking about going through the help, and Jay's like too sick to do it,
Well, Jay's like, oh, I have to go for help. And then,
and then
everyone's
Brad's like, I can do it, and this is where he becomes the boy of the
yeah,
house.
he becomes the boy.
This
of
is
the house.
literally when I saw this, I cried because
Yeah.
it's that the video of Evan, I think the guy's name is,
Yeah.
and talking about he's the dying. He's
Yeah.
the boy of the house. I'm
Yeah.
the man of the house,
I'm the man of the house. Yeah. And I'm the boy
and
of
that's
the
like
house.
I cried, like I shed a tear thinking of that because
Yeah.
how funny that is.
And it's funny because Jay looks at him too, like he's so fucking proud of him right then.
yes.
And he's like, well, here, take the gun. And Brad's like, No,
his-
you guys keep it.
his
It'll only
9
slow me down.
His 9-year-old son.
Yeah, he's like, that'll only slow me down. You guys will probably need it anyway. And Jay's just like, damn, I'm so fucking proud of you. You are the boy of the house. Well, he doesn't say that, but he looks like it.
Getting his chest hair growing up fast.
Yeah. So he jumps out the window and he goes to get his bike, and then there's a critter at the bike. So instead of even trying to grab it like away from the critter, he's just like, nah, fuck this, like abandoned ship.
Yeah.
And he runs over to like by the chicken coop, and he sees through like a hole that like he sees a silhouette of one of the critters, which I don't know if they get bigger from eating or what, but I don't know if they ate the chicken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the more
I thought they were
the-
going to have sex with the chicken.
They were gonna make sex with the
Yeah,
chicken.
because they show the chickens, and I'm like, okay, they're about to make sex, and they're about to make a chicken
Chicken critter.
salad.
Yeah,
chicken crate,
chicken salad, is that what you just said?
No, I don't like chicken salad.
chicken fritter.
And like you can
gets
see,
big.
yeah, you can see it like growing.
It's all the hormones in the chicken.
Yeah, and then they show like Jay making a fucking flamethrower out of like a hairspray can and a fucking
Zippo lighter, yeah.
Yeah, that's and Helen finally fucking wakes up, like she'd been roofied too many times, and she wakes up and she's like, "Where's Brad?" And they're kind of like, "Yeah, Brad went to go home."
He's the man of the house
he's,
now.
He's the boy of the house.
boy of
He's
house
taking
now.
over. He's on the come up.
And then it shows like all the fucking critters destroying the house.
Literally, yeah. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
And
destruction.
this is the part where Rob was talking about where there's a like ET doll, and the fucking critter like looks at it and he talks to it in their language. And he's like, "Who are you?" But like obviously ET doesn't respond.
And like there's
It's
a
a
couple
plush
times like
doll.
he's like like trying to get close to it, and then finally he just bites
Yeah.
the thing's head off.
They're like destroying the fucking pillows. There's feathers everywhere, just destroying the fucking house for no reason at all.
Disrespectful.
Brad sees a cop car on the road, so he like runs out in front of the car, which is fucking the stupidest thing ever because that shit is going fast.
Well, and it's those two idiots too.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that. He thinks it's like
No, but I'm
cop.
saying
Yeah.
it's
So they slam on the brakes. He gets in the car. He doesn't even look to see who's in the car. He just gets in the back seat, and he's kind of like, "Oh, we have to like go help." And then
but he's like, oh, Charlie,
yeah,
Johnny Steele.
yeah. He's like Johnny Steele, Charlie. The way he says, he's like, "Hey, you're Johnny Steele." Like, and then they're like, "We want the Krites."
Or critters, because he says critters.
Who does?
The little kid says, these critters are in the house.
Yeah, but that's when like Johnny Steele's like, "We want the Krites."
Yeah, and then he says, or
Oh, yeah.
critters.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Or critters." Yeah.
Yeah. Krites. He's like crites, critters, and I'm like, oh, we understand now.
Yeah. They go back to the house, dude. The way they just go back to the house so many goddamn times, but
Yeah. They got to use it for all the scenes they can. 'cause-
yes, you're absolutely right.
Maximize your budget.
April's like near like a dresser that's against the window that Brad went through to like leave, and a fucking drawer just pops out of it, and a giant critter arm reaches through and like grabs her. First of all, where the fuck is this critter? Outside of the window? For a really like short stubby thing, he's got a really long arm,
Yeah, man.
and I don't know.
That was just one of those weird moments that just
Doesn't make sense.
doesn't make sense. Didn't need to
They
be there.
didn't really
but
plan it out too well. They're like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna do this.
I think it could have been better for like. I mean, I know they're kind of hinting that there's a big one out there still,
Yeah.
like. But
Well,
I
yeah,
would,
you saw it growing.
yeah, but I was like, I would have rather seen a little bit something, maybe something different for the kind of reveal for him.
I agree. Helen finally gets mad after she realizes that the fucking critters like roofied her, and she fucking shoots through the door and hits one of the critters.
Good
and
aim.
And
Yeah.
the other one just bounces as
Yeah.
soon as he sees it.
So
Like rolls
that-
up and gets out of there.
That's the fourth one that's dead.
So we got the big guy and 3 mini guys left.
I would assume so. Like that. There's only one big one, I think. At this point, they only
Yeah,
show.
we-
I mean, they don't really show more than one big one at a time at this point. And then when they were like running out of the room, Helen's like, "Oh, like give me more shells," and they're like, "That's it. That's all of them. Like no more shotgun
6.
shells." So like, yeah, you're fucking.
That would have been valuable info before we left the room.
Or before she just started firing fucking shots at nothing. Because after she shoots the one, I think she shoots again, right? And she misses. So they're like at the top of the stairs, and there's critters on the stairs, 2, I think. And the front door of the house just fucking blows off. Not just blows off, like a hole fucking blows into the fucking house. Which,
Door, frame, everything. Gone.
yeah. And this is where you start really seeing how shittily this house was put together. The hunters come like walking through with Brad. Harv shows up, and
Yeah, but when they're downstairs, doesn't he just shoot the wall too? Like the one.
Yeah, like it's it's a doorway, right?
Yeah, he just shoots
yeah.
it.
Yeah, just shoots it for no reason. Like
Yeah.
they're just, again, very destructive for no fucking reason.
Disrespect.
I mean, fuck it, if you got a gun, use it, right? This is America. They landed in the right place for it.
They might be from Space America.
They might be from Space America. They're Space Americans. That's why they're fucking policing the whole universe. Yeah. So Harv shows up and he kind of puts the whole family like in the cop car, and then Hunter's like, they're shooting up the fucking house. So Harv's like, oh shit, I need to go in there and figure out what the fuck's going on. The one Hunter, the Charlie like looking Hunter, like comes up and like grabs Harv and just tosses him through the
Just
fucking
throws
window.
him through the window.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but before that, they don't they kill the one in the toilet upstairs, the bounty hunters?
Did that happen yet?
Yeah, that
I
happens
think that's
before
so.
that.
Yeah, he goes up
Yeah,
there, and these
yeah.
bounty hunters are looking around
Yeah.
and
And
everything.
then he
So
shoots
then
the
that's
toilet.
the fifth one that dies.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and-
Brad says like, "Oh, look out!" And he just, I like how he just opens it, and
Yeah.
the critter's trying to go down the toilet, run away.
Yeah.
Oh, that never stood a chance.
Then they go downstairs, and the other one picks up the cop and throws him out. The cop outside.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not even sure why. Like he says something to him like, "Are you trying to get in on us?" Or like I wonder if he was trying to. I wonder,
that's another quote that like I've rewound it a couple times. I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
I
what
wonder
he's
if
even saying.
what he was trying to convey was thinking that he wasn't a cop, that he was another bounty hunter trying to get in on their bounty.
Oh, I didn't
and
even.
he was
I
like-
honestly didn't even think that because he was shooting out. He shot at one of the critters.
Yeah, so he was like, "Don't get in on our contract" or something. Just like
Yeah.
throws him out the window, and I was like,
Dude,
okay.
I honestly didn't even consider that. That makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That makes sense because like Harv just comes up out of nowhere, fucking shooting at the critters too. They're like, "The fuck, bitch! This is our fucking money."
We don't get paid unless we get all 8.
Yeah, and
Gotta
then
catch them all.
Brad goes like upstairs looking for Chewie the cat, which we haven't really introduced, but he's looking for his cat Chewie.
I think IMDb credits it as Chewie the cat.
Yeah, is he really in it? No,
I
you're
don't
lying.
know.
You're lying to me because I looked through. Don't. Why am I listening to you? I'm a dumb bitch. The giant critter like attacks, and Johnny Steele shoots at it, but I don't think he hits it. And then the critter, yeah, because it jumps out the window. And then the giant critter that jumped out the window, like I guess at some point, like off screen, grabs April and leaves. So this is like runs away. This is the first time that a critter's done anything besides just like demolish something right then and there.
Yeah, they had the plan to kidnap her.
Yeah, for some reason.
They needed a snack for the road.
Maybe that was it. I don't really understand. But then Brad's like, "Oh shit, like my sister." So he gets on his
My
If
sister.
anyone's gonna fuck my sister, it's gonna be me. So he gets on his bike to go follow. The hunters try starting their cop car, but it won't start anymore. And then they hear fucking,
love this scene, too.
They hear Harv start up, so they look over
They
at
just
him.
like both look over, and it's just that
And-
awkward moment.
And Harv looks at them, and they get out of the fucking car. One gets into the passenger seat, one gets into the fucking driver's seat,
and just
makes
they slide Harv over.
yeah, they make fucking Harv ride, bitch. That's the real fucking gangster move right there. Brad like runs into Charlie while he's riding his bike. I don't know how the fuck you don't see another person on a bike, but they like bump into each other, and then they're like, "Oh, like over this way." Charlie's like, "Yeah, I'm getting like."
Charlie's drinking and riding. That's why they ran into each other.
I don't even think he's drinking anymore. I mean, he's probably still drunk.
Yeah.
But he says he's like getting all these like what the fuck are they called?
So I'm getting all these
Transmissions.
Transmissions, yeah.
In his fucking feelings again, and he's like trying to. I guess he knows where to go. I don't really know. They run up to like the ship, and April's being dragged onto like the critter ship by one of the critters, and Brad's like, "Nah, fuck that! Like I'm going in. I'm going to save my sister." He jumps up in there, and he kind of like
But when let me hold up for a second.
yeah.
When Charlie's like, "What are they doing?" Brad's like, "They're gonna kill my sister," and Charlie's like, "Oh, they're gonna kill your sister." He's like, "Oh."
That's what I'm saying. Is he supposed to be like a simpleton?
Maybe.
Because I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw this movie, I honestly thought he was, but then this time, like, I was like, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just like,
A drunk.
yeah, the town drunk. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's implied that there's something wrong with him, hence why he drinks. But
Like he's got fucked up past, and that's why.
Maybe like something happened.
But I mean, like he seems like
But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe he got head trauma or something. There was an accident.
yeah, could be.
Because like that, it goes back to that scene when he's like talking about, oh, I could have had this career, and
Yeah.
then the transmissions came and it messed me up, right? And the dispatcher's like, we know, Charlie.
Yeah. So when Brad's on the ship, he like wakes up April.
He pulls the needle out of her neck.
Yeah. And she just like wakes up right away.
She's like, oh shit.
Well, I mean, she's still groggy as shit, but she like crawls out of, or she's crawling off the ship, and then Charlie has to help her off. And while Brad's trying to light the fucking big firework that he still has, well, not, it's like a pipe bomb. He like is trying to light it. One of the critters like runs up on him. So
Yeah,
he's like,
sneak
oh
it- sneak
shit!
attack.
So
yeah,
the,
the big one gets up
yeah.
on him.
So they're trying to take off. So the doors are closing. So
Well, yeah. Brad and them get out of it.
yeah,
And then he drops the firework behind him. He's like, oh no, the firework.
yeah. And then Charlie's like, oh, I have this idea. Give me your lighter. And he has like this fucking yeah. So he does have his bottle of alcohol.
Yeah, he
he's trying to
does.
make a fucking Molotov cocktail and tosses it, and it goes right inside the ship.
That was
The,
his-
door
the
that's closing.
littlest window ever.
The
too.
alcoholic saved the day.
Yeah, and
That was his commitment to sobriety, right there.
dude, well, it fucking worked. the man might be drunk and he might be dumb, but
He saved the
he
day.
saved the day.
So he gets that in there, and the ship starts flying away.
And it stops to fucking blow up the house.
Yo,
It
and
shoots
they
the house.
Giggle right after they do it.
The whole thing just fucking
But
explodes.
I believe, I don't know, I think it's a mini house. I don't know if it means it was like
like a model.
model of the house
Yeah.
that blows up. So it's like a miniature house like that, and they just
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the real house.
no.
Because,
So this is basically the ending of the movie.
yes. But there, well, we didn't even go over the fact that, so after they giggle that they blew up the house, their ship
ship
blows up.
Yeah,
blows
that's,
up.
that's what I'm
They
saying.
realize
But I'm
that,
saying this is the ending sequence.
Oh, yeah. So
This whole part right here, because it's about to end.
Final
their-
showdown, yeah.
Yeah, their ship blows up, the critters.
Yeah,
So-
which then anything that was possibly left standing of the house is then even blown further away by the critter ship.
Yeah.
Well, that was like in the sky. I don't
It's just a massive explosion.
So then Brad like thanks the hunters, even though they honestly they didn't do shit besides just destroy
Make it
stuff.
worse.
Yeah, they only destroyed shit. They didn't help with the critters at all. Well, they killed like what, one,
the one in the turlet.
and that's it. Everyone else killed the rest of them,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still getting paid.
and they give him like a little like, electronic thing, and
Looks like a
the,
belt clip.
yeah, the Johnny Steele one says, "Call me." With what? Is that a phone? Like he doesn't explain anything. Just hands him a little chip, and he's like, "Yeah, call me."
It's a beeper.
And then Charlie, like, as they're walking away, Charlie's like following him, like, "Oh, do you have this? Do you have
You have a
another one
job
else?"
for me?
Yeah, he's like trying to like fucking hang out with them. I guess because like the feelings, he feels like he fucking knows them. They drive back to the house. Well, Harv drives
Well, it's the
everyone back
next.
to the house.
Yeah, it's the next morning now, right?
I guess it's like I don't know if it's like they're supposed to be like wait till the morning, but I think it's just time's moving on, so it's light out when they drive back, and they find Chewie. Chewie's okay, everybody. Chewie didn't blow up in the house, so thank God for that. Am I right, Mark?
No.
Okay. And then the electronic thing starts beeping. So Brad presses a button on it, and the house, you could tell it was shot and like reversed, but the house starts going back together, and that's how you know it wasn't the
Yeah.
real house that blew up. Because the way it like gets put back together, you can see how shitty everything's made, dude. When they drive up to the house, you can see like big chunks of like sheetrock, like a 4x4 sheet, like everywhere. Fucking like shit, like that glass thing that fucking Helen picks up. It was like a jar or mason jar or something like that, like a vase. How the fuck that's not broken? But your house like
Yeah. The
Blew
house
up.
blew up.
But
yeah.
your house is in pieces.
yeah. It looks more like a tornado hit it, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
The ship flies away and it's happy ever after. But then there's a low profile shot again, and it goes up to the chicken coop, and there's in one of like the nests.
There's a couple eggs.
Holy shit!
Critter
they did fuck the
eggs.
chicken.
That's
They
what I
might've-
thought too. Did he fuck the chicken or they
He's
leave
a chicken
the
fucker,
Yeah. So then that's it. And the credits roll and,
And
the
that's
movie's
it.
over.
and that wraps up Critters from 1986.
So Rob, since this is your pick,
Yeah, this was Rob's pick.
so you let us know what's up
Um,
with the movie, your little synopsis, whatever it's called.
Synopsis.
Yeah, yeah.
More like a how do you feel about it? Favorite
Yeah.
kill? What rating would you give it out of 10?
Yeah, so you know the whole routine.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
routine that everyone should know, even though this is only like
episode 4.
fourth episode.
And-
May the
yeah.
4th be with you.
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay. So I am really glad that we watched this one. It has been a long time since I've seen Critters. Probably not since I was like 11 or 12 have I seen this film. So it was really cool looking back and how I thought of it when I was younger and how I see it today. The film to me is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I remember it actually scared me when I was a kid because these little furball creatures just rolling around eating you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it kind of made you wonder, like, they could be anywhere in your house. And now I look back and I'm actually, like, literally love those little guys. Overall, I think that the movie was pretty well done. At times, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows when it seems to just know when it's funny, and I appreciate that. There are some issues that I have with it. You know, it's not going to be an overtly complex movie. You're not going to have like deep character development or any other stuff like that, or a overly complex plot. But I think like sometimes the effects are either spot on, or they're kind of like, all right, I see where the budget shortfall came in place here. Overall, awesome practical effects. I think one of the effects we didn't talk about was when Johnny Steele is being transformed, and it's very much Hellraiser-esque.
Yeah.
In the same way the body kind of forms with the muscle tissue and everything.
I like that.
That
the
was
way his face is.
that was an awesome effect.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about
I
that.
totally
Yeah.
forgot about it. I wrote it down too.
That was an incredible effect for me, and I thought right there, I was like, yo, this is sick. Really well done. But overall, fun and creepy story. I give it a before I do that, let me do my favorite kill. My least favorite kill is Officer Barnes. It's kind of it's almost an off-screen kill.
Yeah.
The way it's done. I know this is probably not going to count, but my favorite kill is the critter that gets blown away on the deck.
Why that counts?
Yeah, I don't know, because sometimes you don't really count the creature being killed, but when he said, just I was laughing hysterically at that scene. When he says they have weapons, so what? And he gets blown away.
Yeah.
That was one of my absolute favorites. I give the film, I was leaning towards a 6 out of 10, believe it or not, but I moved it up to a 7 out of 10. And I think I moved it to a 7 out of 10 because this movie just knows it's fun.
Yeah.
And when you look at it against the backdrop of so many 80s films, it is a quintessential 80s horror space film that just doesn't really take itself seriously, and it's great. I recommend, if you haven't seen it, go in with an open mind. This is one of those movies that I will always say, get a bowl of popcorn, crack open a cold one, sit on the couch, and watch it and have a good time. It's definitely worth the watch. So 7 out of 10 from me.
All right. Let's hear from you, Mark.
I haven't seen this movie since I was probably 10 or 11, like Rob. And I used to watch it all the time. Whenever it was on TV, I always watched it. And now that I watched it as an adult, it's not as good as I remember it. I still like it, but it's not like how I remember it from being when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still a good movie. It's not the worst movie. Could be better. I would say my favorite kill is a toilet one. Turlet.
The critter.
Yeah, the critter getting blown up in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the guy has no regard for anything, he just blows it up and the water starts coming out.
Yeah.
The least favorite kill, same thing with the guy under the cop. I don't like off-camera kills, but I understand they have to be done.
Yeah.
I would say it's a 5. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, you know. How do you feel about it, Kyle?
I like the movie. I like it a lot more than the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I kind of half-assed it, to be honest. Like, I was on my phone a lot, dicking around, pausing to sit on Instagram for time, like periods of time. But this, like,
So like normal.
yeah. But this, watching it, just like actually paying attention to everything, I liked it more the second time, to be honest with you. I think it's a fun movie. I don't know if I'd necessarily watch it a lot, but it's definitely, it knows it's not a serious horror movie. It is like, I don't want to say sci-fi, but it's like a comedic. I don't even want to say it's a comedy. It's more campy.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie to watch, I guess.
It's got the 80s campy vibe.
Yes, very much so. I think they knew that these things wouldn't be scary to people, and so they didn't take themselves too seriously. I'd have to say about 7 out of 10. Like I said, I don't think it's highly rewatchable for me, but I can understand how it spawned so many other ones and why people like it so much and why they're moving on to a show. My favorite kill, well, my least favorite is, Jeff Barnes under the car. But I just stayed with, like, the humans. My favorite kill would be Billy Zane, even though I fucking miss him already. Just, I like how
I didn't even think about that. Like,
What?
the human kills.
Yeah. What do you mean?
There's only one anyway. But.
Yeah, well, 2.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
didn't even put that in the thought.
Yeah, but I
So
mean,
it's a
I
low
don't
body
care.
count
Yeah, I
movie.
don't care that, because like the last episode, my least favorite kill was the rats on the wall in Hellraiser. So I don't mind that. Yeah,
Did we ever find out if those were real?
no, I never looked into that. I don't want to know, honestly. But I like that they used a lot of blood for Billy Zane and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. And yeah, that's just about it.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
So my pick was the last 2. So I think Mark has the next pick for our film. So Mark, what's it gonna be?
So we're gonna watch a movie from 1991 called "The People Under the Stairs."
Perfect.
I didn't even tell them about it. I just did it now.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, neither have I.
Wait.
In a while.
Oh, I was gonna say ever.
I've never
No,
seen
people
it.
just like cut me off today. That's all. So yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. That's all.
I've never seen it.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
What should what should I expect, Mark?
You'll see when you fucking
Yeah,
watch
why don't
it,
you
and
watch
then
it,
we'll
dude?
review it.
I don't want
Describe-
to. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Describe it in one word.
A movie.
That's 2 words because you said a movie.
Movie.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you have any comments, concerns, if you want to ask us anything, if you want to criticize anything, you can always email us at vintagehorrorpod@gmail.com. Our Instagram handle is @vintagehorrorpodcast. Our Twitter, which is now up and running, we were locked out of it for a little bit, is @vintagehorror_. And from there, you can find all of our individual Instagrams and Twitters. We're going to start doing a thing where if you review our podcast on Apple Podcasts and leave a good review, we'll give you a shout out on the show.
Or even a bad review. It doesn't matter.
But I don't want to encourage that. I don't want
But
people
I'm
to
saying
do it just to be funny.
I'd rather have people with honest opinions.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%. But I'm saying okay, see, again, you didn't let me finish. We'll give them a shout out, even read it on the show. I don't care. This way, the more you rate, if you rate it, we'll mention you.
Give us that feedback.
And that's it for us. Thanks.
How